Hello to you, fellow being. Infinite Spiral here, and we're back again in Kerbal Space Program. Today we are going to be attempting a flyby and landing on the moon. So, number one, we are unlocking general construction. We need these launch stability enhancers, and I imagine these struts are going to come in handy as well. There's a larger decoupler and an adapter. Those might come in handy. I'm probably not going to use these structural fuselages at all, but let's research that and purchase the parts. Beautiful. And the next thing we're going to do is electrics. So we get these solar panels, we get a new oh wait, no, it's not a lander pad, it's another probe core. But we get battery packs and lights, which are fantastic for keeping things visible in the darkness of space, especially when you're on the night side of a planet. So, with those now purchased, you know what time it is. It's time to build a new rocket! Alright, I do believe we are ready to test this fucking ridiculous hug thing out. And, well, actually, we're going to throw one more set of struts on, just for safety's sake. Because I know this thing looks, you know, super duper safe. We'll just throw them right like so. Might add some twist, they're not perfectly centered, but whatever. So, we shall name this beast the... hello, where's... crap. Undo. Scrap that. Let's make sure our ship is not in the space of the text box. There we go. And this is the... what the crap? Seriously? For real? To the moon? What the crap, seriously, for real? To the moon? Jesus Christ. I have significant doubts about the feasibility. I'm not sure that the bottom stage is actually enough to lift the rest. There's a lot of liquid fuel in there. But it's kind of what we're going to have to do. Sort of the best we can do with the parts that we have access to at this point. Not really. I'm sure we could do much better with a lot of planning and forethought, but it's what I'm going with. So, let's find out how it works, shall we? Aw, shit. It's way too heavy. God damn it. Okay then. Well, we need to drop 54 tons. Well, let's find out just what we can afford. These are 6 tons apiece, so get rid of 4 of those. Drop those 4. That does that. We still need to drop 29.4. I'm thinking drop a fuel tank from that stage. Liquid fuel, that is. That's 2 tons. Okay. Ah, ridiculous. Alright, well, we'll get rid of 2 more of these. Hey. And that puts us well within spec, but now we're so much further from that maximum mass, I feel like that was too many. If we do this, it's too heavy. So we'll throw on 2 of them. Yeah, we're not allowed. Crap. We'd have to go back in and get rid of all of this and do it over again with 2-way symmetry repeatedly. And that's kind of a hassle. Maybe we're gonna have to do it, or maybe we will just launch it with this? I don't know. Yeah, let's give that a try, I suppose. We'll throw the stability enhancers back on. Now, do those add weight? Because that would be really stupid if they do. 119.6. Yeah, they do, but they're not very heavy, so I guess it's not that important. But we'll put them back on like so. And we can also bring it just a tad bit closer to the ground. I don't think that's really important to do, but I like to do it for no reason. Alright, so let us again add these struts back in for stability's sake. Okay, and now let's give it a shot. Oh god, but let's fix the staging. Goddamn staging. Alright, that's all going. Everything's good there. Those drop off. Yeah, everything's fine. Here we go. Alright, what the crap, seriously, for real, to the moon. Let's find out if you can live up to your name. Launching! Alright, definitely has some twist, but no immediate explosions. That's a good sign. Doing my best to counteract that twist. It's not working very well, but it's doing a little bit of good. Turn my volume down a little bit. Loud-ass rocket engines. Excuse me, solid fuel boosters. Okay, next stage, going good. We're at full thrust. The twist is gone, which is fantastic. And, okay, we can start our gravity turn. Provided we can get enough thrust vectoring to affect that. Yep, a little bit. Come on. Oh, you can do it. Stop going north. We want east. Alright, well, let's kill that. Okay, good. I have to be careful when detaching those, because if I had my thrust up, I believe they would rotate down and knock my engine out. At the very least. So, let us... Oh my god, we're going so fast already. That's fantastic. Check periapsis, or apoapsis. Yeah, super high. That's great. So, as we begin to approach that, then we will start our radial burn. And I completely forgot that I had every intention of doing some stuff. I will explain that in a moment, once we get an orbit established. I know for a fact this thing can orbit. That is not going to be a problem in the slightest. Oh, it's so nice to have SAS. Okay. So, here we go. And let's even aim a little bit south of east. Just to get that prograde direction lined up with the 90 degrees, which would be directly east. Because we don't want much eccentricity. We really want to use as little fuel as possible on our attempt to get to the moon. So, that's looking good. Okay. And now we will burn straight at 90 degrees. As the heading says. Nope, not 89, 90. There we go. Get there. Okay. Prograde is dropping because we're past the apoapsis, but we are rapidly establishing an orbit. And this thing controls decently well. Doesn't seem to have any problems with going nose down or... Wait a minute. Have we lost our... Yes, we did. Okay, there we go. That's more like it. Now, this engine that I'm on now is much smaller, but much more efficient. It has a lot less thrust, but it has way, way more efficiency. It's one of the most efficient, at least in space, one of the most efficient thrusters, liquid fuel thrusters in the game. Not counting things like nuclear engines, which are far and away the best in terms of efficiency, but these are super great, and it's nice that you get access to them so very early. But let us check this. Yeah, because of the less thrust, they have a much slower... They're much slower at establishing orbit. And we should have started a lot earlier. I forgot we were going to run out of fuel so fast with those other thrusters, but that's okay. This will do just fine, and our fuel is also doing just fine. I know it might seem like we're low, but these things are good enough to get us to the moon and probably back. We will find out, though. I'm not entirely certain about that. So we are just burning straight at the horizon until we get our orbit established. Alright, periapsis should be appearing very soon, right about here. Yes, there we are. Okay. Excellent, and we could do a skyward burn yet again. I forgot to look that up, but yeah, it's already above 70, so we're good there. We'll just leave it like that and be good to go. So now, real quick, we're going to head back to the Space Center and do the thing that I meant to do before launching. The couple of things. So number one, we forgot to accept any contracts. What we wanted was fly by the moon, yes, and explore the moon, yes. Beautiful. And now, we also want to upgrade our astronaut complex so that we can actually place flags and perform EVAs outside of Kerbin. So that's done. Beautiful. And we also want to upgrade... Oh, we can't afford that. Crap. I really wanted to upgrade the research and development because that would allow us to collect surface samples. But we can't do that just yet, so we're going to max out at 100 science when we get back. Provided we actually do enough to get that, but I think we will. Well, let's go ahead and recover this stuff while we're here. No big effort there. And let's get back to the mission. Like so. Okay, so for getting to the moon, the most effective way is, you have to establish orbit first, obviously. And then you basically want to line it up so that you're starting your burn out from the planet roughly when the moon is rising over the planet, so be on the horizon. So it's going to be about here. And we can't plan maneuvers yet. Yeah, I'm back to the Space Center real quick. How much does this cost? Okay, so yes, we can definitely afford this. We're going to upgrade the tracking station because that allows us to use patched conics, which is another way of saying, which is the term for, hello, we need to go in there to get to our flight, maneuver nodes. So now that we've done all of that, yes, now we can actually plan for maneuvers and, can't we? Hey, damn it. What's the story? Oh God. Alright, one more time. I forgot there's so many important things that work together in order to work, so yeah, flight planning is available after upgrading mission control in addition to the tracking station. Okay, so we've upgraded that and that, the tracking station, mission control, and the astronaut complex. We really wanted to upgrade research and development, but we can't afford that yet. But let us return to our flight and actually go about planning this mission. So, like I said earlier, we want to try and plan for roughly when the moon is on the horizon. So now, we can add a maneuver here. And we're going to burn prograde just to push that orbit out until it intersects the moon's orbit. And then you would just want to fudge about with it a little bit to get a moon intercept or encounter. So right there, we've got a moon periapsis at 2 million meters. And I think, yeah, it's our eccentricity that's really throwing that off. So we will go back, edit that node to try and alter that a bit. Oh, that was too much. That throws the periapsis not very far. And that brings it down a little bit. So yeah, you play around with this a bit, and eventually you figure out just how much, just how effective it's going to be. Now the orbit that I'm starting with is not great. It's a little bit off from the moon's, and that's part of the problem here. But in toying around with this, oop, there we go. 300,000. That is very decent. Let's bring it even a little further. That's an actual moon collision course, which is fantastic. So we're going to go with that 16 kilometers. That's beautiful. We can mess with it as we're approaching. And if we do this just a little bit the other way, burn south just to try and get on the same plane. Okay, yeah, that'll be more efficient. And right there, 6 kilometers. Let's bring that retrograde a little bit. 20, perfect. That is exactly what I want. I like to orbit the moon around 20 kilometers to 30. It's, to me, it seems like a safe distance. There, you don't have to worry about any of the, crests and ridges and things, and just colliding with the moon on accident. I mean, that's sort of not a good thing to do, generally. So, now the way that these maneuver nodes work, now that I've set that up, you see this blue arrow on the nav ball. So you want to follow that arrow until you find this little blue maneuver node on the nav ball, and you want to point directly at it. Now, we're not in place to actually make this maneuver yet. So just real quick, I'm going to go at full throttle and then cut it immediately, because that'll give us an idea of the estimated burn. So, well, I'm actually going to do that closer to the actual maneuver node. Oh, now that we've got that, can we warp to there? Yes, that is fantastic. I love it. That might have been... Nope, don't want to... Okay, wrong key. That was bad. Yeah, that was really bad. So yeah, we're actually too late to make this maneuver effectively, but we can still make an attempt at it, but it's going to be a much longer burn. Basically, so full throttle right now, yeah, it's a 1 minute 16 second burn, and the way that you want to do it is to center that burn on 0, because right now we're already past the node. So actually, I am going to go around the planet one more time and do our burn then, just to be more effective, because if we did it now, we'd be burning further in that direction, and we would probably miss our encounter with the moon entirely. It would not be pleasant. So, we delete that. We set a new node, roughly in the same spot, not exactly, because by the time we get around the planet, the moon will have moved a bit, but we add a maneuver, we burn prograde. And actually, because we're going around again, let us set the moon as a target, and that'll give us these ascending and descending nodes. So, when we get to this ascending node, what we're going to do is add a maneuver there and burn, I don't know if it's normal or anti-normal, but basically towards the South Pole, and that will push that ascending node closer and closer to 0 degrees, which is what we want. That means that we're, basically intersecting the exact, it knocks off the eccentricity so that you have the exact same orbital plane as the moon. So with that done, that's going to be a really short burn. It'll be really easy to do. So we're going to go ahead and warp to there. Nope. Yeah, warp to next maneuver. That's perfect. Because, as I said, this is not going to be a very fast, it's not going to be a very long burn. It's going to happen real fast. Okay, so we're 1 minute away. Yeah, it's a 4-second burn. So we're actually going to time warp a little bit more, just to bring that down to 2 seconds. So, like I said, you want to center your burn on 0 of where the node is, because, half of your burn is going to be in front of it, and half of your burn is going to end up behind it. So the node is based on instantaneous math, which, in real life or in Kerbal life, you can't really do. You can't apply all of that thrust instantaneously. It takes time. So you have to balance that out, and I should have gone full throttle there. I forgot there's a full throttle button or key. But yeah, you notice that this the node moves as you get closer and closer to 0. There we go, and that's absolutely good enough. Now you can just click this little check mark, and that gets rid of it. So now our inclination has been fixed. We are at 0.0 degrees, which is fantastic. And the moon is now there. We are here. So right now, if we were at this point, then, if we were here, then we could set up the node for being, roughly at the moonrise. but the moon's going to be further in that direction by the time we get around there, so we're going to start about there. And, you know, it's not perfect. You have, like I said, you get a feel for it over time, and it's been a while since I encountered the moon. So I have to toy with it for sure. But that's looking good. 2 million, forward some more. 1.4. 1.2, and that's actually too much of a burn. That's part of the problem there. You can see that the planned orbit goes much further, so... Oh. That puts us... Yeah, and you can see where the moon is at different points of the planned maneuver. So right here at the moon encounter, the moon will be over here. And then when we escape the moon, it will be over there. And so 600,000, let us do a little more retrograde. 700, opposite direction. Alright, well, I'm going to play around with this until I get a nice, decent encounter, and I will rejoin you when we've got that set up. Alright, I like the looks of that. So, with that in place, and again, it's about a 1 minute burn, a little bit more, so what we want to do is warp to more than a minute. We don't want to move to the next maneuver. Although I think it sets you a minute ahead. I don't feel fully comfortable with that, so we're going to warp to just before it. And we will manually approach it with our own time warp. Okay, so we are 1 minute and 20 seconds away from the node. I'm going to go ahead and exit map view. Even though it's really dark and you can't see much because we're on the dark side of the planet. And get lined up on that maneuver node. So we want to start our burn at 37 seconds. Because 37 seconds times 2 equals 1 minute 14 seconds. You have to be able to do a little bit of basic math. It's not that difficult, I promise. You get better with experience. But yeah, so it looks like I was wrong about when to make your maneuvers. It also is partially because I'm so high up in my orbit. But we start our burn now. So we started at 37 seconds, which was exactly where it should have been. So you see this this countdown here. This is your delta V that's required to get to where you're going. So we have definitely enough fuel for this. Although I would be happy with more. It might be an under-engineered ship. I think more fuel would certainly be better. Oh, never mind. I was going to say, for a second I thought we only had 2 of these fuel tanks, but no, we definitely have 3. But we are going to keep an eye on this, and at roughly plus 37 we should be finished. And you also have to keep an eye and adjust to keep on that node while you're flying. And yeah, I was wrong about the 37, but now we can make our final adjustments at a lower speed, just for sensitivity's sake. Yes. Good. 0.1 meter per second off, but our current trajectory puts us at a 46 kilometer periapsis, which is fantastic. And we still have a little under half a tank. So let us go ahead and fast forward to our moon encounter. There it is. It's the moon. Oh my goodness. And we are here. We have begun our moon encounter, I believe. Yes. Yes. So now we want to plan this next maneuver at that periapsis. And just a straight retro burn to get an orbit. And that is going to be a 10-second burn, that's no problem. Yeah, the moon has much lower gravity than Kerbin. Much, much lower. It's much easier to deal with. And I was really hoping for a return trip on this mission. I'm not entirely certain that's going to be possible. But we can certainly make our best effort at it.